Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Gyrocopter.
Earth Shaker.
Phantom Lancer.
Radiant team pick.
Welcome back, guys. Game number 2 is underway here between 5Jungs and the Golden Boys. I'm Durka here in the JD Studios. ESL 1 in New York European qualifiers. Round number 1, the winner of this heads themselves through the quarterfinals, where we've actually got pretty much all the teams already set up. New team against Navi is one of them, Vega against Monkey Freedom Fighters, then NRP against Alliance, the battle there. Winner of this goes up to play against Empire finals, and obviously their way through to the semis and the grand final, the best of 5 at the very end.
10 seconds remaining.
ESL 1 in New York. Now, we're in the draft. We're finding out what's happening here. There's a Phantom Lancer, there's an Ember Spirit, there are first picks galore. Co-caster Modpax is here today as well. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Those matchups, those all sound very exciting.
Oh yeah,
moving into like Empire and Vega Squadron, of course, going on now as well. And so, winner of this, of course, too. I'm really excited for that Battle of Sweden. That'll be a really fun one. A lot of people excited about that new Alliance roster. Moving into this draft, you've got well, first of all, the 3 big counters to PL are all already available. It's going to be the Earthshaker paired with the PL, and then Golden Boys answer back with the Gyrocopter and the Ember Spirit. 2 heroes that we often see teams look for when they're going up against the PL, and they managed to snag both in the first phase.
Dire team ban.
This does kind of show Golden Boy's hand a little bit early, though. You know that Gyrocopter is going to be one-roll carry. Could be aggro tri-lane, but more likely than not will be safe lane, so you can utilize the jungle. Then Ember Spirit is going to go towards the mid. Jungs here can actually look to try and counter out that Ember Spirit, which Queen of Pain ban, the Athena ban, the Storm ban, they're definitely not knowing where things are heading. But it's not always just the 1v1 matchup. You know, put a Shadow Fiend there and he'll do deep, raise out the waves. It's about the support rotation that comes in as well. Why you see the Winter Wyvern picked up. Arctic Burn great against Ember Spirit, slows him down, makes him kind of back up to the tier 1 where it's a little safer. But then you start to wonder about kind of getting cramped in the jungle, because on this Radiant side, Gyro and Ember, they both want to farm a few stacks. That means you're limited on your supports and your offlaner as well. You can't go super.
Yeah, especially in that offlane role where a lot of the offlaners we see today, probably apart from Clockwork, do rely fairly heavily on the jungle in order to get something back. Try and get themselves, you know, kind of back into that game if they're getting shut down by some of those better zoning out carries like the PL and the Gyrocopter. Interesting that Clockwork made it so far. I guess it was kind of obvious either Clock or Tusk was going to get banned in that last pick there, and it ends up Golden Boys getting the Tusk. I'm sure they would have taken Clock if it was the opposite way. And they'll go for the Lion again. Very good at shutting down that Phoenix. But see what they go for. No Keeper of the Light jungle strats this time, it seems.
Tusk are mainly going to be heading into the support role. Could go towards offlane, but we do need some kind of hero to save people. Dazzle kind of comes to mind here against PL, Wyvern, and Lion as a decent burst damage there. And Tusk plus Dazzle, this combo was used at the start of the year. Team Empire had, I think, 10-1 record with Tusk plus Dazzle, I believe. Something ridiculous like that. They were unbeaten for 8 games straight, and then they did lose at DL, I believe. But the fact that you can snowball in, roam around, play defensively and aggressively with the heroes, you know, Grave plus Snowball, you're just saving people left and right. When you have relatively fragile heroes early on, like Ember and Gyro, who rely on building up, you know, stats items, try and tank yourself up a hell of a lot. Having that defensive support duo can be potent, but instead, Ruby can fit in there as well. Telekinesis can save your teammates, place the enemies, but also you can telekinesis them back into, like, Searing Chains and Rocket Barrage.
Yeah, and you've also got it up against the Earthshaker. It's probably one of, if not the best, definitely the best meta hero, I'd say, that we're actually seeing a lot in terms of being up against is the Rubik. So they'll be looking to steal that Fissure as often as they can. And that's something you really have to be wary of when you're playing Earthshaker. And I was just thinking that the Brood ban, because when you've got these greedy cores that we were talking about, one of the offlaners specifically that you can look towards in this situation would be the Brood Mother. Someone who's more self-sufficient and can actually look to take over the enemy jungle. But smartly being banned out there, not going to slip past
10
Kuroki, pretty experienced drafter, aware, even with the Earthshaker, that it's not something they want to deal with.
5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiend ban.
Dire team
Expecting
pick.
that up against that Ember Spirit, you know, in Equilibrium you can go back and farm the jungle, but holy crap, that was quick. That was
Radiant
pre-planned
team pick.
quick. Wanted that Razor. Shadow Fiend ban was coming. And Razor against Ember Spirit and Gyrocopter. Well, it's the pushing power you get from this guy as well. You've got a pretty damn good 4-man fighting lineup here with Razor, Lion, Wyvern, and Earth. You can actually battle it out pretty early on. Phantom Lancer then has time to split bottom up. Boys, their final
10
pick here.
seconds remaining.
Off-lane hero, secondary support, have left.
5 seconds
Clockwork.
remaining.
Pain, Darkseer, there's no bounty hunter. So I'm kind of feeling the
Reserve
shift
time.
of this Tusk from more likely than not support role now towards the off-lane. And then a secondary support coming here.
Oh, what about the Undying?
That's
Still
good.
available. Tusk dual offlane.
They don't really have anything to deal with the Tombstone.
Fairly good. Yeah. I really like this Razor pick here.
Maybe an AA?
Gyrocopter. Oh yeah, AA is also nice. Paired up, not bad with the Rubik in terms of like a roaming support duo. Especially if they're going to a lane with someone like the Tusk. Basically, he kind of facilitates a lot of ganks, even for maybe heroes that aren't necessarily that good at getting those nice little pickoffs. So his variable skill set, including, you know, TPing his allies on top of people using the snowball and everything like that. And then, of course, the terrain changing with the shards. I think it's just why he's such a powerful hero right now.
Yeah. We used to see Ancient Apparition a lot with Ember Spirits back 3 or 4 months ago from like Tier 2, Tier 3 European teams. A lot of the Swedish guys loved playing it. Just the fact that I think they added in like a Darkseer every now and again then as well for Flame Guard, Iron Shell, and then Ice Blast. The Ember Spirit would farm aggressively in a lane somewhere, and as soon as he sees with an Observer Ward or he feels a gank coming, they throw that Ice Blast out, and suddenly what looks like Ember Spirit having to Remnant away, he turns it back into a kill. But yeah, they go with what you suggested, the Undying. Do you think this is going to be the dual lane Undying?
I think they're at least considering it. Maybe it'll depend on how Jungs is going to their lanes here.
Or aggro tri-lane Undying. Gyro, Rubik, Undying, Tusk, solo bot lane against the Earthshaker. They've
The
definitely
riskier option.
they've got a few options. Yeah, I was saying with the Gyrocopter, it's more likely going to be solo down on the safe lane because of the junk. Want to be stacking and farming that a little while for the Gyrocopter. But
I'd be a little wary about going aggro tri-lane up against the Earthshaker, simply because if you can get a really nice Fisher and block off that tri-lane, suddenly there's like a support
10
hero
seconds
up against
remaining.
3 of your cores, and it's just like free pickoffs every time that there's a good Fisher placed.
5 seconds remaining.
hey, it would need a TP from the Minecraft heading down to that bottom lane.
Oh yeah, that's right, actually. Touche.
Off lane Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Prepare for
Oh, what
battle.
a game.
But I guess they've got Winter Wyvern, Cold Embrace, they've ton of sustain and things like that to actually keep alive. And Matsu on this Phantom Lancer, Fata playing the Razor, Yerax on Wyvern. Heading down to bot. Where is Mr. Kuroki? Once again, TP's up to the top lane, looking for that observer placement, and Skylark does not get it down. Got money in the bank and like items on the Kura as well. Over to him. Skylark, Tusk. Climb on this Undying, so we'll still see what they head out to. Kaiser, mid Ember Spirit, rushing into that bottle as quick as possibly can.
I don't know, but it looks like we're going.
Well, random pause, accidental. S224J on the Rubik, heading out to bot, and Madara already placing a nice aggressive observer ward there as well. This obs here from the Dire, another interesting one. Over towards that bottom rune spot. Watching out for him across the way,
30
looking for this
seconds to
high ground.
battle.
What else does this accomplish? That spots the rune, right? Please tell me it does. Yeah. No?
Yeah, it would.
Yes.
No, it must.
Barely.
Doesn't it? I think it's just really for the rune. It's not likely to get dewarded, and it's also unlikely they would have seen you place it since you got down there relatively early. And I think they're just trying to secure the runes, I guess. Pretty important for Fata in this matchup, I would say. You don't really want to be giving free ones over to Keyser on the Ember.
Good Fisher. Gyrocopter's on the wrong side, but that means the Rocket Barrage actually only focuses down the Razor. And now the Telekinesis back, Earth Spike does land down onto Madara. Light of Fist, I mean, Searing Chains done a little bit as well. Interesting interaction. exchange between the two of them. Matu gets the bounty up at top, but Ember gets the one down at bottom lane, so Razor does not get his bounty route. Not get any closer to that bottle, but he's gone for the Wraith Band and a couple of shared tangos, so he wasn't going for the full-on rush. Whereas Ember Spirit is one creep hit away.
And they've actually brought the Undying in to do a little bit of early on harass, but Winter Wyvern here as well, so yeah, trading off a little bit. And again, we have this dual mid lane scenario, and again, we also have a Tusk pulling off the nice little block here, so similar to the Cogs block that Clockwork's able to perform. Skylark will be able to get himself a nice wave, and you can see he actually lets the creep out nice and early to try and stop it. Does he get it in time? Just a little bit too late.
Just within tower range. He'd love to have it like in this area here, just so that it holds it. I mean, he does have you know, a 1.5 creep wave coming in. Pushed regardless, but Undying, stacking Ancients, already building things up early on for this Gyro plus Ember Spirit. Kaiser in a bit of trouble though. Damage drained out. It's only level 1 static link, so it's not awful. It's just annoying, especially if you're last hitting on the tower. Getting that damage output onto the creeps is pretty difficult. Great move by Matu up at top though, using Doppelganger and holding the creep wave outside of tower range.
Yeah, it's a lot better than most carries when you're kind of forced to tank it if you want to do that. So that's another one of those bigger differences between people who I think are better at PL, like being able to use the illusions to properly tank in the jungle can also save you from getting things like the Vlads. Looks like he knows what he's doing here.
Pretty up there. 6 last hits. Razor with 8 though, and Kaiser. He does have a very sort of up and down hero. You know, you hit these power spikes once you hit kind of level 8, 9, 10. But early on, killing potential on this Razor is going to be very limited. He doesn't rely on too much magical damage. Plasma Field maybe as a finisher. And Bata could be looking for this Flame Guard just to wear off, while up at top lane, Kuroki trading hits here with Skylark, and actually he's going to have to snowball to try and get away from this. Tombstone is dropped, and Matu's looking for the killing blow, but the zombies are stacking up. They'll kill off the Tombstone, and maybe now even look for this Undying. He turns to fight Snowball, will pick him up and try and save him, but Yurax is already there. Double man Earth Spike, turning it back, but there's no mana on the... He's got a Mango. He's got a Mango. There is mana on the PL. Doppelganger is going to have to be used here to dodge out from the steering chains. And Matu salves up. Nobody died. Okay, sorry, no. Someone dies. Undying died to a neutral creep, but nobody died to an enemy hero. Meanwhile, the chase continues on Skylark, and he's trapped in here. There's no mana for Matu. He does not have a Mango this time. And Kuroki, the Earth Spike, I'm still not sure about this. One more hit might be enough, but Kuroki's so damn slow. There's boots up on Skylark. There's no Phantom Rush. There's an Arctic Burn. Arctic Burn. Can he get the vision? He can't get in range either. What on earth? About 30 spells were cast and one person died.
And all this action's happening top, and meanwhile Mind Control is just down here just like, oh yeah. Solo offlane Earthshaker versus the Gyrocopter. Great times.
Fun, yeah.
And not only that, the wave's even pushing in, so he's really not going to be getting anything here. S22 doing a very good job here. He's got the double stack here on the small camp, and he still even has that medium one pull over as well, so you can't contest on the Earthshaker. It looks like he'll come in now, maybe seeing that Gyrocopter is going to have to deal with this wave under the tower, so he'll have to choose. Like, do I want the wave or do I want to come deal with the Earthshaker?
What am I going to do indeed? Mind Control. Maybe even heads over to the 4-minute rune as well once done. Dying and Tusk are still up at top lane. They're, like, it's a really unusual combo, this. We've seen a lot of Undying Queen of Pain, Undying Spirit Breaker, Undying Phoenix. There's, you know, a bunch of combos where Undying obviously multiplies the damage output you have with that decay. But here, the Tusk with Snowball and Ice Shards, it's more about control than damage, really. Maybe if they catch someone out, like the Lion, they can actually find a kill if Tombstone's well placed. It is level 2 now, but the aggression comes out of the Dire first. Maybe next time drops his Tombstone, but that's pretty much just free gold going the way of Matuma Man and his team. Maybe next time he's now stuck. He's alone. No zombies to help him. The lack of disable there. Kuroki just throws that one Earth Spike. Doesn't want to waste mana on another Hex. Cooldown's wasted. Mana plus regen used for the Radiant. Well, the Dire, they continue farming. They've got PL farming up here. That's all they're really looking for.
Echo barely make it out of there. Now there is still a salve and a clarity up here, but the Tusk, he'll have to get the salve, yeah. So, I don't know, this combo's really good if you can zone out the supports using the shards, whereas they can't reach the Tombstone and force it into, like, maybe just Matuma Man to try and take it down, whereas he, like, probably won't be able to get it as long as the Undying's nearby as well. And, I mean, they're getting a lot of this harass, and oh, nice cut through by Matuma Man. Comes right through the trees, they weren't expecting that, but I don't know if they'll be able to get this chase down.
Oh.
There's no more mana, there's a stick, though.
Skylark, he's got a snowball, 3 stick charges, you're right. Matsu not going to be diving this. It's just edge of your seat, you know, butt-clenching moments here for both teams where everything is really on the very edge. Incredibly close. Meanwhile, Fanta at mid. Looking for the side swipe onto Kaiser here. He's got a bit of damage down. Steering chain's going to be a little bit annoying. Fanta's not going to dive that tier 1, doesn't have anyone behind him. Well, Rubik is actually moving in from the bottom lane.
Teaser hit 6 mid dive, so it's just kind of over at that point.
Oh, you're right. Once the remnants come out, Razor doesn't really have any recourse. Going across the bottle as the 6-minute rune does spawn in about 10 seconds time. But then back again down to bottom lane. Madara has been farming freely down here. Pretty good for himself. Earthshaker,
yeah.
mind control, he's up to level 4. But they haven't put the same pressure onto this gyro as Phantom Lance has felt at top. The way you start to see that 11 CS difference actually come into place. Out of vision range there, and Gyrocopter back as well. If he goes for this creep wave though, a Fisher, still his doom.
One of the harder off lanes is the Earthshaker, simply because you have to go boots, because it's a Gyrocopter. So if he gets on top of you, you're simply dead. No, there's not communication on top. Oh, maybe there is. He's on top of Kuroki. Yeah, that'd be a little bit harass.
Phantom Lance went for the Undying, then backed off. The Tusk went for the Lion, then backed off. It's still this kind of trade-off here. Skylark still has the snowball. He's got 5 stick charges, but if they get him during the Hex, they got him! First blood goes the way of Matumba, man.
Finally.
I mean, there's two.
And now bottom.
What have they got down here? Oh, you're right, Fanta is hitting up. The call down is just going to land the first missile onto him, but Madara and S224J dropping low on the old HP. Kaiser has another remnant forward, but he's got no stick, he's got no bottle with him. And Fanta could even look to kill off the Rubik here. One hit, not enough, but that lightning storm will be. Now, a remnant across. The Ember safe for now.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Eye of the storm, not lightning storm.
That was surprising. The bottle was on its way in the courier. It looks like he must have been bottle curling, so a little bit unfortunate there. Something that the Ember definitely relies on to keep his sustain up in the middle of those fights with all the bolas he's throwing out.
Dire's middle tower is under
And it looks like
attack.
Kuroki again up here, just kind of
Radiant's
pulling
top
away.
tower
Finally gonna be able to get
is
himself
under
some
attack.
farm. I wonder if we'll see him get more of the farm. I mean, Jerax, they're both just picked up boots. We'll see what they put some of the priority on. Probably just trying to get mind control something.
Oh, bot lane, Fanta, he's been caught. Good Fisher though, catches 2 and Wyvern is still here. Searing Change isn't going to do too much as he's healed up. Mind control and S224J skanks the Rubik. Plasma Field barely scratching there. Gonna hit though. Still looking for go here. Jerax, level 4. You don't have your Winter's Curse, and now you've walked into Searing Chains and Call Down. The Rubik will fall, the trade-off will be the Winter Wyvern though. Sparta, run back the other way. You're actually running into this Undying who comes in with a tombstone. The snowball catches him and Razor's gone. Mind Control tries a TP and he will succeed. That net closed pretty quick though.
There's the if you look at the net worth chart, it's kind of ridiculous how much of the farm on the rating is on their 2 cores. The Undying, the Tusk, and the Rubik both just down so far, and even the same for the Dire. Like, we really have, basically, it looks like 3 supports on both teams.
Parity is pretty massive.
Radiant's top tower.
But
is
sometimes
under
you see this where the offlaner gets very little farm, but the trade-off is, you know, previous series we saw the Light farming away in the jungle. There's some kind of down here, but we get a bit of gain there. In this game, it is pretty much just going to be the battle of Phantom Lancer against Ember Spirit, with Gyro and Razor being the sort of tanky heroes on the front lines. Kaiser walks into Fanta here. He doesn't have a remnant up just yet, and he's losing a lot of HP. Steering Chains are dropped as well, but he's still not going to die. Got enough survivability there, and then bottling up, of course. Fighting shape once again.
One thing that we have seen with kind of this resurgence of Razor in this patch, like he was picked, there was kind of like a phase where he was being picked fairly often, is that a lot of times we'll see the ultimate also pop for farm. So like right there we saw it was basically pop for harass. I don't think Fatsa thought he was going to get a kill, and I don't think he thought he was going to die. And well, I know Eternal Envy was the one that I first started noticing, and speaking of which, he's going to get a lot of damage here.
Kaiser have a way to jump away, or 7 stick charges should be enough. The Flame Guard will keep on going as well. Mind Control soaring up, desperate to get to level 6. Always carrying that TP. Knows that up at top lane. Sure, such a great ability against that snowball from Tusk if things do get a little bit hairy.
Radiant's middle tower. is under
Madara
attack.
with a cooldown. That fish will block him off. The Spirit comes across. Kaiser's caught him. Mind Control TP yourself away. And they don't have the burst damage to finish him off there. Self Gen Rune, which does absolutely nothing. Himself back to
And Jarek's finally getting these stacks going, so we'll be looking towards getting that the Eye of the Storm pop just to clear these. And like the cooldown's not that long, so pop it here and start that farm going.
One scary thing though is this Phantom Lancer. Matsuma Man with 1 kill, 62 CS, is up to level 8. So 1500 gold saved up, and I'm starting to wonder where he heads into. We've seen a bunch of different builds from like the same players, where Morbid Mask, Yasha, Diffusal Blade, Quelling Blade. Start building up your stats. We even saw Sandra Yasha earlier on today. Didn't work out that well. Tank himself up quite enough. But Matsuma Man, what do you reckon for him this game? Do you want to continue farming, split pushing? In that case, do you want to go for Boosted Travel as your first?
I think it's tough. It's like, it's so hard to strike that balance between, do I get Yasha, do I get bots, and like eventually you need the Diffusal. Like it's kind of one of those, like it's coming out at some point and you kind of decide, what do I need before that happens? In terms of split push, there's not really that blink hex this game, so maybe the bots would be more effective.
Thought they were going to make a go there onto Matu, but maybe trying to bait out that doppelganger. Snowball was instead onto creeps. Rubik steals Enchant Totem, the single worst spell you can steal from the Earthshaker. Probably the single worst spell you can steal this entire game, actually. Like, everything is better. Actually, everything is better.
Yeah, when you go through it, that's pretty much it. That's the worst one in the game. Yeah. At least for this one.
Well, Rubik will have to deal with it. At least, you know, at least he can get last hits a little bit easier with it. That's perfectly fine. He's okay with it. But Mind Control has been given some room down here. Now he's got his Tranquils, his Soul Ring. Start concentrating on where he gets that Blink Dagger now. Aiza has a Haste Rune. What happened with it? And Kuroki again with this ward.
Well, we've yet to even see a tower fall at 12 minutes. I don't even think, like, we don't really have any significant damage going on any of them, honestly. Both teams pretty content with their farming. Kind of similar to the series we saw earlier today. PL versus Gyro, farm it up. And Gyro, I think he is opting for the Helm this game, and he at least has the Mask, so definitely the item you want. They already have a couple Ancient stacks going, and they'll look to just kind of get him all jacked up. Maybe go towards that Sanjin Yasha. I don't think you need the early BKB this game.
No, against like Static Link, the Winter's Curse and things like that, you're always going to have these things that go through BKB, and the stuns out from Lion. You don't really care, because that allows the Ember Spirit a little more room to breathe, and he's not going to get hexed up either. Now Matsu, he bought himself drums, and he walks into the Death Squad here, but he'll manage to doppelganger himself away for now. There's no more movement forward, and they might have been caught themselves. There's still a cooldown available. Madara, he's going to have to throw it now with that Flat Cannon down and out. They don't have the big AoE splash damage anymore. Tombstone will try and stack up the zombies. Ice Shards with the snowball's good. Walrus Punch up the Razor, but he's being healed up. He's perfectly fine. They cleared through the Tombstone with no problems whatsoever. The Winter's Curse comes down, onto maybe next time. Skylark is attacking his own teammate. Two-man Earth Spike will catch them with a Fissure on two as well. Rubik! Wait, what? Somehow gets that Winter's Curse down onto Matsuma Man, so the chase stops, allowing one to TP back, but Skanks, he's under his tier 1 and he's pretty much dead. Unless the TP can finish.
Tower is under attack.
Well, that turned around quickly. The Dire side were all smoked up down here planning this nice little ward, and they're like, oh look, the entire Radiant team is in between our tier 1 and tier 2, so they actually did a really good job of splitting the TPs. So Fata came into the tier 1, and then you had a couple who were more like quickly moving and not necessarily the priority, TPing the tier 2. You don't want everyone stacking up here, or you're like could have just ran away. So nicely played there by 5Jungs, and now 7-2. Geezer again being forced out of the mid lane. Like, he just can't fight up against Fata right now, even with just Tread's Bracer. And I think with all that gold he has, I don't think he'll go into the drums. Like, maybe if he needed some recovery, he might have, but he'll probably just look to invest that into something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I think Tread's Battle Fury is probably the way to go here. But it's question always for the Ember Spirit, where does he get his farm from? They have no stacks jungle camp, so we can't clear them out quickly. He doesn't really have a safe lane to farm apart from bot lane, but you know, Gyrocopter's there. Once Gyro maybe farms up the jungle, then they can switch things up a little bit, but at level 9, Ember Spirit wants to be killing people. He's got the skill set, he's got Searing Chains, he's got Flame Guard, tons of magical damage, and then the mobility from Remnants to allow him to jump forward and back in teamfights. If you're not able to take fights because of heroes like Winter Wyvern, Razor, and Phantom Lancer, this Ember Spirit isn't as good in the early game as, you know, he is actually capable of with his skill set.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and interestingly, Fata actually opts straight for the Sanj, so I'm not going for the Yasha in terms of the movement speed, and I doubt he'll be going for anything like the Halberd. It's probably just the Sanj Yasha. Makes the most sense, at least to me. And it looks like the Rainier are going to try another smoke here. Courier coming in.
Oh, there's your BOTs over in the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, he was saving up for a little while there.
I wonder, Fata is renowned for his interesting item choices. Sanj Yasha is obviously, you know, it is the item of the past 2 patches, pretty much. The great stats you get from it, movement speed, chasing power, the proc from the sand, and this curse still held by the Rubik. They're going after Fata here, but damage output-wise, it's taken a hell of a long time. Heals back up with the stick charges, tries to turn it back, but there is no cavalry incoming to save him. Mind Control was getting close, but...
Yeah, if this was one of those games where Mind Control had like a better time in the off-lane, he'd have Blink Dagger, that could have been an absolute disaster. Simply because of how long it does take them to burst down Fata, but they played it well, so they got them knocked down. Big pick-off, too, and so that'll be pretty crucial for them getting back into the game. Looks like there's a snowball coming out again. Maybe another pick here.
They found Winter Wyvern down at bot. Yurax goes Winter's Curse. Arctic Burn is down and out. The Tusk Shard's actually blocking the Gyrocopter from chasing.
He might have another tower. Be falling here. Radiant losing their tier 1 top. They might get the same trade going here on the bottom. But we'll see what they want to do. I mean, they're all grouped up here. Depends on what vision they have. They see Mind Control, and he doesn't have a TP. So they're just going to run away. Okay. Well, there you go. We'll just head towards the mid.
Winter Wyvern has Fanta's Bracer for some reason. Razor Bracer. They're going to move themselves down to this tier on the bottom lane. The Undying, he's got himself up to level 8 and he's got a decent amount of net worth. You know, he's not looking awful, but in the shoes of this zombie player, love to have the momentum behind you. You want the wind in your sails. You want to be the one playing aggressively with your tombstone, finding the fights, and basically forcing people to fight into you. The tier 1s are still standing across the board for the Dire.
Yeah, the mech, it's coming soon, relatively soon, so that'll be pretty helpful. Looks like they're going to get Snowball here onto oh yeah. Yeah, he's just dead. Bye, Jerax.
Poor little Winter Wyvern. No chance of survival there. Matu does TP in. Clear up the farm at the middle lane, while top lane is being pushed out by Kaiser. He's got his Void Stone. Treads were picked up. Battle Fury is being surely purchased up by that... Don't know about this stack here. They're trying to take it. The contest could come through. Mind Control. Oh, he's so close to his Blink Dagger. With his tower dropping, he'll actually have it. So fighting is a possibility. But with Golden Boys up on the high ground, Fanta just walks straight into the dying, and now with the Fisher down, they'll actually find this kill with a Finger of Death. Fanta in a ton of trouble though. Telekinesis up, Snowball down, and he's out. Silverman's even running forward here. The Earthspike stolen out from SS24. Hatsu, what's your plan? Doppelganger over? Oh, Remnant forward. They've got him. They've actually found him in a situation where he cannot escape from. Unless...
That was nice.
He runs away, but he runs straight into the ice shards and cooldown.
Fata kind of had that feeling of the invincibility, I think, just running up into there. And if only they had some sort of a ward going on up here. There wasn't even a sentry from the Radiant side, so if they had to like maybe try to contest up this way instead.
Oh, Blink Echo, Mind Control, catches Madara, and now can it finish him up before those agents do the heals? The Snowball comes through, the Gyro's still alive, turns it back, kills the Wyvern. Meanwhile, on the back end, Mind Control gets zapped down into oblivion by the Rubik. Kuroki TP's away at the very last second. That healing power though.
Yeah, it seems like that happens every time with Gyrocopter. It's that you feel like you're about to get him down, and then you know, he just kind of sits there at 200 HP taunting you with rocket barrages and call down. So actually call down for that engagement, and maybe they could actually make a push onto the mid, knowing Echo Slam's down, and of course they do have to worry about the Winter's Curse. Is there anything? No, SC2 sitting on the Enchant Totem, unfortunately.
Once again, the lovely Enchant Totem, which is incredibly useful. But yeah, the Soul Rip level 4, he's gone for a 1-4-4 build on this Undying, no levels in his ultimate just yet. And that proved to be the difference. The amount of Ancients and Heroes and everything just around that Gyrocopter took him from, you know, 100 HP up to about 300. Then stick charges, and all of a sudden this Blink Echo Slam, the insta-kill that was meant to happen, never really came to fruition. So Matuma Man, it's time for him to return back to farming. The Razor really needs to get it on as well. because stuck on this sand with 1200 gold, you need to progress as the Razor. You've not gone for the mech build, so you haven't gone for that early pressure where you can push into towers. You haven't gone for the Aghanims build, you haven't, gone for any of these kind of aggressive forward-moving builds. You've gone for S and Y, movement speeds, a bit of utility here and there, the attack damage build. Hacking yourself up so you can actually get up in the front lines. And if you don't progress that, you don't keep the ball rolling, and start to fall behind. Razor is definitely a prime example of mid-heroes that don't really scale that well.
Yeah, he's just looking to kind of be that, unstoppable force crushing through your team. But I'm kind of surprised we don't have points into the Flesh Golem, because I would consider that to be one of the better spells. Whereas you can, like, Razor's going to be walking right on top of you and getting right on top, and that's a good way to help burst him down, like kind of similar to like a Soul Catcher from a Shadow Demon. But I also do really like the max points to the Soul Whip, because he's been keeping that Tombstone alive for a really long time. Oh god.
Do they know? Oh, they know. They can't catch him in time.
Popped.
A little bit too late. I would have
they thought he was invis.
Yeah, I would have thought
I don't think they got a sight out of him. Yeah.
Done off there, but
Dyer's bottom
meanwhile,
tower is under attack.
this Matu PL himself his full diffuser blade. Yeah, that's already done and dusted. The blade as well as his BRTs and drums. 21.5 minutes in. Could lead to the Matuma Man fighting a little bit more, because that's not really the farming build. Jump around the map, pick off some fine kills, and with the Blink Dagger on Earthshaker, Echo Slam available once again. Oh, he's nearly level 11. Level 11 Earthshaker could be the turning point, and Gyro.
KB gets forced out.
Yeah.
I guess wary of the TP in from a Tumba Man possibly. If he were to get like hexed up or Spike. I mean, that's 4 seconds, right? Where you can show up and start dealing with this Gyrocopter. So maybe with that popped, I wonder if the Dyer will think about going to Roche.
That's a good question, actually. Because Ember Spirit, what's he got? Battle Fury is 50 gold away. One creep, he's got it. Once that's up and running, really very strong at defending high ground, clearing through jungle camps, clearing out these Ancients as well. But I think he wants to be farming pretty aggressively up on this top lane. Have a Remnant back here. He's got one back here. Wants to try and bait out the Dire side to try and maybe TP to defend this lane. There they've progressed themselves through into the Radiant jungle, making sure that Gyro has limited space for himself to farm, and make sure that Undying doesn't get into his mech too quickly. This Tuskar, even though he's got his Glimmer Cape and Arcane Boots, aggression on these heroes isn't that great.
Yeah, and without the blink on the Rubik, I feel like Matuma Man definitely feels pretty invincible. Like, there's not that much lockdown, and there's definitely not much initiation that can actually get him from range.
Oh, and Chance on him. Oh, he Echo Slams the Rubik. Fair enough, fair enough. Mind control.
Get him.
Secure the kill, as you will. Now he's stuck in the shots though. The Snowball's coming through. Oh, the blink away. Now Snowball's in the middle of 4 of them. Skylark, Glimmer Cape away. Double sentries dropped here, and the Fisher will lock him down long enough. Finger of Death and Hex to heal out now. The Winter's Curse even down. Maybe next time. He's got no Soul Rip. He's being stunned. And Chat told him 3 for 0 going to come out here. As long as they can nuke him down fast enough, and they will do so. Meanwhile, up at the secret shop, Matu. 1v1's the Ember. That's 4 dead with no retaliation.
Radiant's bottom tower is
That's a
under
disaster.
attack.
One might say.
I love your fully Canadian, just calm. That's a disaster.
It's not,
Radiant's bottom
it's not the
tower
ideal
has fallen.
situation. At least Fata looks like he's heading home, so they're not gonna. They'll get 1 tower as an objective out of this.
And Roshan. Maybe? Maybe not.
I think Matuma Man's just happy punching creeps.
Yeah, once again,
a lot
he's
of
back up to
waves
top.
coming top, man, it's so difficult to deal with him. I mean, we just saw him solo teaser, so I assume he got a little bit too aggressive, probably feeling pretty, jacked up with his new Battle Fury, thinking he can make something happen and turn this game around, because it's slowly they are losing control. You can see it dipping down now after that fight, 2,500 and spiraling out of control. Probably next Dire will look to get some control. This is a really nice ward down here. This is excellent warding, because it's one of those ones that everyone always dewards here, like all the time. But this ward can provide a lot of the same vision, moving down and around that area, and the Radiant are smoked up though.
They're going forward, they're going to find Kuroki here.
No.
Freshly purchased Blink Dagger, but no escape. Gonna get stunned up. Try and get the Earth Spike down. Is this a turnaround actually coming in? The call down will be thrown out as well. The commitment here to kill off a single Lion. maybe Fata has got a little bit too big for his boots as he does walk in now. The Ice Shard will block him as well. In comes the zombies and the Sleight of Fist. Searing Chains, Remnant spawn. Fisher is good. Mind Control cannot blink. He's got Echo Slam in 1 second. He's got it available. He's got it ready. He needs to blink forward and look for the target though. Blinks into the middle of them. All the zombies spamming out those little shockwaves, and Matu trying to clear up Madara here, but he doesn't have the damage. With the Winter's Curse, it's not enough. Matu's dead. Mind Control is dead. And Winter Wyvern, he's getting stunned up as well. With the snowball forward, a 5-man team wipe incoming here.
His top tower is under attack.
All right.
That tombstone,
recovery.
man.
If the max levels into the Soul Rip, it just makes it impossible to deal with. And Mind Control had so much patience there because he knows, like, if you get too close to that tombstone and you get that zombie on top of you, then, like, your Echo Slam's done. It's basically impossible to start getting it off. And he waited and waited, but I guess he just couldn't find that right window where you could actually knock any of them down fully. They all got so low, but the mech, the Undying, too strong.
Interesting fight. Very, very interesting. Hiroki got to be pretty salty that he bought his blink and he blinked, you know, into this direction, and now he's going to take out this observer ward, but he couldn't blink away because he got into this spot here, and maybe if he was fast enough could have blinked off if the down was available. But
yeah,
the fact that Fata kind of just walked in and tried to fight, even though there were shards, snowball, there was, you know, all of these ultis and abilities ready for the Radiant. It's very aggressive play. Maybe with the Phantom Lancer, you know, he's got his Diffusal Blade, Yasha, and building into S and Y, they thought, okay, we've got enough damage, we can cruise through this. But the Sleight of Fist.
They saw every ultimate dumped on top of Kuroki, and like Fata's just like, I'm tanky, I'm Razor, like I'm going in. And the Ice Shards, it just kind of, it stopped a lot of his damage, like the way that he wasn't able to just kite them around and back into his team, and he was forced to stand and fight and tank all their damage. So a little bit unfortunate there, but nice job there by the Golden Boys.
Yeah, and that dip you were pointing out is completely reversed. So the 2,500 towards 7,500 dip, that's no longer there. Oh, Hex. Blink forward from Kuro. Find that gyrocopter. Skylark back here with Kaiser as well. The PL illusions causing a nuisance as they are. Taking stuff. Mind Control, that's top lane. He's got his 4-staff done. That Blink Dagger.
Yeah, we saw quite a few Yules earlier today coming out, but I think I like this a little bit better. Easier to maneuver around and everything. Try and get off those perfect Echo Slams, especially when you're dealing with things like the Tombstone. It can be extremely frustrating.
Ice Shard, zombies, Fade Bolt, Flat Cannon, Call Down. You know, pretty much every hero on the Radiant has some way of screwing with your Blink Dagger. Just bound AoE abilities. Oh, okay, Madara. That's a big kill. That's a big kill. 2 ultis expended, but Dominating Streak goes the way of Mind Control's Earthshaker, and now they're on the retreat. Maybe the chase can be on. Blink on the Rubik, and there's no remnants here from Kaiser on the Ember Spirit, so they can't catch up. Kuro and Mind Control.
Feels like a lot of this game is gonna soon be falling onto the shoulders of Kaiser, getting into like the Daedalus and a lot of damage output where he can hop around these illusions and try to take down heroes like Kuroki and possibly even Jerax as well. They don't really have that much physical damage resistance. I mean, one of them's rocking a cloak, and then you've got also the, you know, some Glimmer Capes could be coming out for them as well. None yet on the Dire side, though, so at least... Oh, yeah, no, there's the one from Wondervine. Okay, I was going to say he had one, but couldn't find it. There we go. Anyway, looks like Mind Control's in trouble. Speaking of Kaiser, there's going to be TV in here, though.
Cancelled. Oh, it's killed off. The creep got killed off.
Nice.
Mind Control blinks up to stop him from TPing. Yeah, also there's no medallion for either team. I keep looking at this Roche pit and realizing, hang on a second, it's 30 minutes in, no one's touched Roshan, no one's even looked at Roshan. No medallions, no real way to get in, like, the Dire side, the Phantom Lancer, you know, maybe get in there and try and tank through it, but damage-wise, a little limited for both teams. And it's always a great risk as well. If you do go in there with Winter's Curse, Echo Slam, on the other side, Call Down, Tombstone, Sleight of Fist, neither team really wants to commit themselves, whether it be a sneaky smoke into Roshan to try and, you know, get it under the noses of their opponents, or just a straight-on walk in there. It's going to have to come down to win a team fight. If you can't take a tower, go back to Roshan.
Yeah, it feels like these days, if you don't draft for Roshan, it doesn't seem to happen quite as often. Like, it's not like one of those, okay, it's up, let's go. If the game's relatively even, it seems to be just kind of not worth that big risk. And is Dunk ready? Not quite. 15 seconds.
Looking up at top. Yeah, Kaiser dropped low.
Fortunately, the TP was just a little bit too slow from Kuroki. Just took a little bit too long, and with no Echo Slam available, they couldn't secure it.
Bata and Matu were down at mid and bot as well. Skylark with his Blink Dagger and his Glimmer Cape. Wonder, Undying, what do you have now? Madara nearly has his Butterfly done. Not that far away at all. That Butterfly could be the game changer here against PL and Razor. Neither of them are natural MKB purchasers. He's actually going for an MKB right now. You see the BKB picked up by the Razor. Phantom Lancer just finished his S&Y, has 1600 gold. And as well.
Yeah, also a decent amount of armor that you'll be getting from that too, so next up against Razor. And there's no, like you said, there's no Medallion, there's no Dazzle this game, something we've been seeing quite a bit of, or Shadow Fiend. So no real debuffs coming out here for the side of the Dire. But maybe they could. I feel like they're trying to get this Roche done. It seems like they're kind of been posturing a little bit in this area, but maybe they just want one big pick before they go for it. Probably if they get a pick in this jungle again, they'll go for it, as there won't be a tower to try this time. Skylark again will escape. A relatively quiet game, it seems.
Yeah, 13-14, even though 5Jungs has a 5,000 net worth advantage. It doesn't feel like it at all. Like, you look at the experience graph, it's just back and forth, these massive spikes like a heartbeat monitor. And the one
There's
kind
our
of...
Medallion.
Okay, there we go, that's nice. The one kind of thing is, this game, even though there's a Phantom Lancer who, you know, in other games we've seen him 1v5, we've seen him just stack up items and go and crush people, there's a Gyro and an Ember Spirit on the enemy team.
Yeah. Like, we saw that in the drafting phase, and it's just kind of, it's doing its thing here. The only advantage to that is that both those heroes don't really have that initiation that you need to initially catch them. Oh, the smoke's gonna be popped.
Razor's all alone.
Totally unaware.
Manta just runs himself back to the tier 1. Surprisingly enough, there are still 2 tier 1s up here for the Dire. They've got ways to buy back, respawn, get towards the Roche pit, or get towards these fights if they do choose to take them down towards the bottom half of the map. And Matu with his Boots of Travel, they are on cooldown for 20 seconds. Gyro. The loop around here, but it's going to be a smoke of their own on the Dire. Given over to Yerax. Just yet, because they've got the split push going. They've got top and bot, both pushing in. Like, bottom lane, they've got, what, double creep wave plus catapult. It has to be defended. Unless they go in and team wipe the Dire here. Golden Boys doesn't really have any reason to not defend bottom lane. The tier 1 at mid isn't worth it.
Yeah, and this is definitely tipping off the Dire. You can see them hugging this tower right now. And they can already see Skylark as well in the mid, and now Gyro actually comes down from this little high ground perch. They're going to try and get some sort of a trade, and it looks like Keezer will head right back, so... See how the Dire want to respond to this.
And
the Dire is so deep.
This Ember has no way to get back into the fight. He's got a DD rune, he's got his
Oh, he's
crit.
back.
Oh, he does. Sorry, my mistake.
Mid.
My mistake. Okay, so he TP'd down to bot lane, then remnanted back. Okay, he did have a way back. Arthur up at top lane, Shards, not going to catch him off guard. The push just continued, so nothing gained there from the Radiant, really. Apart from a little bit of farm, but they grouped up as 5. They stopped a little bit of the push down at bot lane. Mind Control will continue that. Man, nearly takes down the tier 2 at top. It's in deny range now, though. Dying should be able to clear that up. But look at this. It's like a game of tennis. They've spread them. They've basically pushed them from side of the court to side of the court to defend. And now they go in for the killer blow. They go and take Roshan when they know there's no legs left for their opponents. Mind Control's hiding in a beautiful spot.
Gonna be putting this on Matumba Man too, with the change to Razor last patch, where it no longer persists when you die with the Aegis, so he's not that amazing Aegis carry that he once was. You do lose it. So they'll put it on top of Matumba Man instead. Not really a danger of him being picked off, so more likely that they'll be looking for a high ground push for him to be involved.
What does that do to the gold graph? Down a little bit. So the Dire, they've got themselves a nice bit of an advantage there. But again, it's tier 1 towers, they'll bounce that out pretty nicely if Radiant do get a chance to go and take it. And then high ground pushing power. It's going to take a lot of brute force here for the Dire to actually get up onto the high ground and take tier 3s. Big team fight just outside. They need to kill off the Embers. They need to try and force buybacks. It's going to take more than one attempt unless things go incredibly wrong for the Radiant.
I think a lot of that's going to come down to the the vision that they're able to provide inside the base. So if Kuroki can get in there and sneak a nice ward on the high ground to give something for... Because the Winter's Curse, the range is massive, so if you can get a good one down, lock a few heroes, and just as near the end of it, you want to drop that Echo Slam so you can avoid the damage reduction on everyone who's like attacking the opponent. And it looks like we get some packet loss.
No.
Dota? No. No.
Garlac, he's got a medallion of his own. Dying, still sitting on that mech. I keep looking at him and seeing him save like 500 gold, save 600 gold. Then it all disappears. Actually, I think buying observer wards and things like... Yeah, he's buying all the obs wards. So Rubik is very close to his Blink Dagger, which is the knock-on effect of that. That Blink on the Rubik. Yeah,
they just really wanted to... I mean, really, what's Undying going to do with all that farm at this point? Maybe eventually he'd love to have something like the Greaves, but it's way more effective getting something like the Blink Dagger on your Rubik, and also it's like giving Tusk a ton of space. So he's got his own medallion, he's got a Blink, he's got a Glimmer. He's relatively farmed now. And it looks like they're ready to go. And what do we have? So we just had our Roshan, and we have the Aegis now on top of Matumba Man, who just picked up a Reaver. All right. That is the item.
Oh, he's tanked up a ton. 2,300 health. Glimmer Cape on the Wyvern still.
Now, is this hard or satanic?
I'm not too sure, but Lance is stolen out there by the Rubik. It's not going to save you from the illusions. Holy crap. The stun, is it there? The Hex is there! Kuroki finds him, and now with a static link, he's going to force his BKB call down before his life, but no damage return of fight though. No one to come and save him either. Winter Wyvern with a curse down does secure that kill.
Uh-oh. And now it's a Shadow Blade?
Oh, wow.
Mind control, please.
It's not to me to see a ton. Oh, no, Earthshaker and Magnus and things like that. Well, not just the Core Shaker, but
that's true.
On heroes that would kind of like a tertiary form of initiation. Oh, Scarlet just dead to illusions. He's dropping low. Look at the heal from the Undying, and he'll be fine, but towers are definitely not. Tier 1 at bot goes down to the Radiant. The Sleight of Fist come out now from this Ember Spirit. Burrow, does he have to buy back here? Matu just runs straight forward. He's got Aegis the Immortal. He's fine just to doppelganger himself back, now healed up. Maybe Mind Control with a Blink Echo can find an opening here onto these heroes at the back, but he flipped himself a little further behind his teammates.
I think they're wary, because if he blinks forward with any sort of an Echo Slam immediately, we might see that buyback, and that could be a nice little turnaround for the Radiant, but looks like they'll just be happy to take the tower. Unfortunately, they couldn't force with a buyback, but a major hold for the Radiant.
For tier 3, chip away a little bit of the racks. Blink Dagger for the Rubik. Now for the Winter Wyvern. All of these little items coming up. Oh dear. That Daedalus recipe?
Directly into Matumba Man. Like it flew into his face.
No Daedalus for Mr. Ember Spirit then. Oh, come on. Oh. No packet loss, please. We have the Shadow Blade on Earthshaker. We get a little bit. If you got the Blink and Force Staff, you want to kind of blink forward, Force Staff out, but the Shadow Blade adds you that extra kind of tier where you can Shadow Blade in, hit someone, maybe have an Enchant Totem prepped and primed to go in there with that bit of damage, which you've got right now. The Enchant Totem is ready. So then you've got the Enchant Totem, Shadow Blade, go in, hit, Echo, Enchant Totem, Fissure, and then if you don't kill, or if you need to escape really quickly, then you've got the Blink and Force to get yourself even further away. This adds that extra sort of permutation available for combos you can do. Run out.
Yeah, he's definitely the mobile shaker this game, that's for sure. And also another good item with the PL too. So you can be doing something like the Shadow Blade with the Boots of Travel in if they manage to catch anybody out alone. Now, mind you, we're getting to the phase of the game where it's probably not going to be happening too often, as the Radiant might be secured into their base depending on how the next fight goes. And you can already see that the Radiant jungle is like totally warded up here by the Dire. I wonder if we'll see a gem come out. I don't think there's any out yet. But typically around this time we'll see one either for the Radiant in a desperation attempt to try and regain some control so they have some safer places to farm, or for the Dire to totally choke them in.
Yeah, and if you look at Kuroki, he's got 1,500 gold. Wonder if that's going to be a finished Solar Crest. Get the Talisman of Evasion and actually complete that up. Could be a gem over in the Wyvern. He's got 600 on top of it. Oh, so he's just finished a 4-staff and he's got another 700 gold to spend. It's ridiculous where he gets this money from.
I think the Solar Crest is a really good idea. Something to put on top of Fato when he's sieging the high ground, or even Matumba Man. I guess Matumba Man, you'd be giving away the real one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think you put it on top of the Razor, put him on the high ground, hit the tier 3, kind of like you do with Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopters. And then Sleight of Fist, Flat Cannon, things like that, he doesn't really mind too much. The physical damage coming out, this is going to affect him. And yeah, there we go. Soul Crest is finished. The Razor. What has he got coming in? He's got nothing coming in, but he's got 5,000 gold saved up, and he's got a plate mail for himself. Wondering AC or Shiva's.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably the AC. More beneficial in terms of Matumba Man, and nope, just illusions. Skeezer, have they got the courier back yet? Nope, still a minute 50. And then there's a minute and a half left on this Aegis. So Matumba Man just kind of alone. Forts are roaming in now, but feels pretty secure. There's just not that much lockdown here. Like, honestly.
Oh, did that indicate go time? AC is fully completed up on the Razor.
And you have a minute and 20 seconds. I would attempt this. I think they're just going to come in. They know the Aegis is expiring soon, but it's long enough that they can make some serious damage on this Rax.
You know Flat Cannon is down for another 20 seconds now. If you bull rush top Rax with the creep wave coming in, you could probably seek it. Matumba Man's going to just try and keep this lane pushed in a little bit, get the creep wave up onto the high ground, while the rest of his team sweeps in and pushes up top lane. So dual lanes being pushed in here. Matu, the front lines, no one can touch him right now. He's got Aegis Immortal, his doppelganger's away. He's not touched by the Sleight of Fist either. Razor trying to get up onto this high ground as well to get into the racks, but breaching is still a little bit difficult. They're slowly just splitting them from pillar to post. There's no way the Golden Boys can actually just go in and defend this. Look at the illusions. Straight in there. Madara forced to use Flat Cannon now with a pull down out. Mind control forced out from away, but Fata with his BKB pop turns to kill the Tombstone. He looks like he's okay just to fight this up against the Undying and Matu. Aegis of the Immortal. When does it actually expire? Earthshake has killed off Rubik in the back, and now the Winner's Curse comes down. Skylark takes his own teammate to the grave with a buyback from the Gyro, and Matu, Aegis is still there. He'll get the regeneration from it in what, 30 seconds?
And now it's in like 10 seconds. It's almost exactly 39 minutes. It's gonna be really close if he dies here.
Oh, Matu, it's gonna be close indeed. He's still fighting. He's still fighting. He wants to die. He does. Razor drops as well. Skylark zapped by the Finger of Death, and Kaiser tries to find two, but only gets one. Matu still, though, alive and kicking, looking for the Gyro kill, looking for the Undying kill. Actually running back and forth between them. The cleaves and crits out from the Ember Spirit, though, a little bit dangerous for him to handle, as now he doppelgangers up on the high ground. And Jirax left to his own devices, but this PL, how do you actually deal with him? Because he's 1 versus 3ing you. But Matumba Man, he's going to kill off the Gyrocopter. One more lands. Now looking further forward for Skylark, but they've seen Kaiser. Kaiser's got no mana left. They get the Earth Spike down. He's dead. He has to buy back or else he's gone for 80 seconds. The snowball from Skylark looking for Matu, but ultra kill for him. Now the Rampage is incoming as well. Diffuser Blade and 5 kills in a row. Matumba Man cleaning up house. But you know what? They still haven't taken racks.
It's actually unbelievable how close that fight. It was a second and a half, and that Aegis was gone, and then there's no Rampage, you know. But Matumba Man did a really good job. He was actually like shadowing the Ember. He was walking into the Flame Guard, trying to burn it down so that he would die, and he manages to get it off just in time. Keys are back now. We'll be able to get that Daedalus finally. If that courier will ever make it, it's hiding in the trees.
Can they kill the racks down? Matumba Man's giving it a damn good go. The glyph is there to try and slow it down though, and Kaiser, you're right. Daedalus is gonna be on its way, but there's the Blink Hex. Kuroki's found him. Now with the stun, Matumba Man burning through his mana. Kaiser! No buyback available. Maybe next storm getting slowed down as well. That Lance is gonna secure his doom, and now the Tombstone. Not long for this well. The GG's already called. 2-0 sweep here for Kuroki and his new team. Golden Boys down and out. So 5Jungs get themselves through to face against Team Empire in the quarterfinals.
Man, what a game.
Honestly, what a great couple of series. The first one was ridiculously tense. This one, now obviously one team came out on top, but Golden Boys gave it a good old college try. But that's it for tonight, guys. I'm Durka. You can check me out on Twitter at DurkaDota, my co-caster. The lovely Modpacks at Modpacks on Twitter. Had a good time. Tomorrow we kick things off again at 11 AM CEST for the Southeast Asian qualifiers.